Hi guys, welcome back. Hold on just 1 second as I get everything set up. So, thank you very much for joining us again tonight. Well, I guess it's almost the 50th live broadcast that we have. So, before we begin, I know a couple of you guys are probably asking yourselves, is that really ABS or was that really nylon? And the answer is, of course, yes, it really is. So, this is the Talman 618 nylon that Carl printed off a little bit earlier today, and he's been working on individual pieces of it in order to get it to come out as good as you guys can see right here. So, it is confirmed. Your extruder heads that are there are going to be able to print with ABS, PLA, and nylon. And it's just as easy in order to pull it out and as it is to put it back in, as you guys may have seen on the last live broadcast. So, before I get too far forward, I know some of you guys have seen the couple of the updates I gave out to everyone in regards to the survey, the extruder survey. I do apologize if it was confusing, which on hindsight, based upon everybody's questions, it was a little confusing, and I apologize for that. But moving forward, that's the very first thing I want to show to you guys was the hothead extruders. They will be 0.5 millimeter nozzles for now. You could possibly change it out for 0.4 millimeter in the future, but that's a possibility. That's not necessarily a definite at this point in time. We found that there are quite a few issues that you have to overcome in tweaking your program when it goes to 0.4. So we're keeping them at 0.5 millimeters for all the nozzle tips that you see out there for the hothead extruders. When it comes to the EMO 25s, we will not be offering the 0.5 or 0.75 millimeter nozzle tips. We'll be only offering the 1.5, and the 2 millimeter diameter
and
nozzle tips.
I have them that are not drilled.
That was the next. Yeah, that was going to be the next thing. I'm not sure if you guys overheard that or not, but we will be offering those particular nozzle tips for the EMO 25s, not drilled. So if you wanted to make your own holes, your own particular nozzles at whatever size you guys wanted to do that, you're free to do so. But we found that the best nozzle tip sizes and the most practical nozzle tip sizes we've been using so far have been the 1.5, and the 2 millimeter for all the materials that we've been squeezing through the extruders. So, if you guys hold on for just 1 second. Hey, there he is.
I'm still alive. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Hello to everybody.
Yeah. Then finally, sorry guys, the chat room didn't refresh. It took just a second. It's Coder 96, DeCosted, DB Nicholson, EC Distro, June Lee.
John Hubbard, Les Music.
Plexus 314, Powers USA, Pro E Guy, Mini Manufacturing Company, X-Ray Charlie Yeoman, and of course Eagle 1J. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us tonight. And whoever's lurking in the background, thank you very much for joining us. So, good.
Good. Anybody who's getting an EMO 25 and has a special needs project where you want a different size hole in it, I had Dave the machinist make us 25 nozzles with no holes in them. So so if anybody has a special need, get a hold of us, communicate it. I might even be able to stick the hole in before we ship it for you. Although this week it's going to be like drinking from a fire hose, I'm sure. So anyway, yes. That's about the nozzle tip. And there was some talk, not really much talk, about the 0.5 millimeter nozzles, and I understand that some people are thinking that 0.4 might be better. It might be. I mean, we're not printing virgins, but we're not totally 500,000 years experience either. So it's possible that there's some benefit to that. We have 0.4 millimeter nozzles, but I wasn't impressed with the machine on them. I purchased them from a source in the Far East, and the holes were off-center in most cases. So we found that when I ran my test, it printed better in one direction than another. Just in case anybody wants to know. Yeah. Wow, hey, this is nice. Did you buy this over at Hobby Lobby?
No. Yeah, that's the nylon, guys.
Yeah. Did you show it to him?
Yeah, just a moment ago, and
yeah.
also took a picture of it, put on the Kickstarter, so that everyone could see a high resolution picture or higher resolution picture on that. So
This is really the one you want to see, though.
yeah,
And did you put a high resolution picture of this one?
not as close or as good because the lighting wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. Because
If I were
it
you
doesn't-
guys,
doesn't do
I'd ask
justice.
him to make a picture of this because
I'll put it on the Flickr account, guys.
really, really high resolution. This is by far the single best print we've ever made.
Mhm. It's beautiful.
Actually, I shouldn't say that. We printed like 3 or 4 of them while we were just sitting here having fun, and we had a guy come over. What was his name? First name?
Is Greg.
Greg, that's right. Gregory. We've been
Yes.
trying to hook up for a couple of weeks. Finally came over Friday night after work, and I said, you know what, we'll just print one of these just so you can see what it looks like when it's printing. And he actually works as an engineer, a mechanical engineer.
Mhm.
And he said, well, we used to have a Stratasys where I worked. And then he looked at it and he goes, this might be better. I'm not saying we're better. It's the bar they've always set. Let's just say that if we
Those are
jump
his words.
really high, we can look over the bar and see the light of day sometimes.
Yes, that was his words.
Obviously, they're still the guys who set the standards, and we appreciate them for doing that.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, there's a little song in my heart when things like that go on. So we're getting much better on stuff. Everything alone. If anybody wants to know what I've been doing this week, I've been working on software and endurance testing on the Mark 1 extruder.
It is the Mark 1 extruder, yes.
And I've been trying to understand better about the materials, and because we want to give you guys a great printing experience, we're thinking, well, what's the first recipe we're going to give out? Things like that. And we had to keep testing the machines and the software and the firmware, and made some great progress on all that stuff. I managed to get the hot inject and the auto bed level, auto was not the right word, but the pre-build bed level perfected, so that you have a couple of buttons as it's laying down the first couple of lines on the outside of the skirt, and you just tap the button to move the head up 1/1000th of an inch at a time, and that will, by looking at the line and its width, you can see that you're in the right place. And after you've done it 1 or 2 times, it completely solves the need to restart your build.
Yes.
Because while the skirt's being made, you can adjust it, and you're like, wow, okay, have a good time. I'm going to play golf. I'll be back when the sprint's done. Yeah. It really, really, really helps you get the bed right where it needs to be.
No more was it printing and praying.
Printing and praying? Yes.
Yeah.
So that's one good thing that we got going, and that was non-trivial. The other one is that I've dug deeper into Repetrel, or Repetier host, sorry. We kind of renamed it for our local needs since it's more and more HYREL and less Repetier. And I found out what was blocking the choking on the large prints. And so now I'm trying to reincorporate into their code, which is really not going to be too tough, it looks like. So that we can stop this blocking problem, so we don't get junk
Yeah.
when it's getting a large file. I really would like to print inside of that environment. It prints fine from my rich text box, but then you got 2 boxes fighting each other, 2 background tasks fighting each other, and it's not what we call a maintainable or debuggable solution. You're not sure who's causing what to whom. So software and firmware have been coming along good. The bootloader's been tested numerous times with great success now. I'd say we probably programmed in situ 25, 30, 40 times now.
Yeah.
So that's looking good. I've got some stuff to share with you guys, and I'm not even sure if I've got it here. Oh, I do.
Which ones do you
Well, the secret to how I got nylon to print, which I thought I'd share with you guys, because someone was nice enough, and I apologize for not remembering your name, whoever that was, but I'm sure once you tell us on the broadcast chat room, I'll remember it. Told us to use canvas, glue it down, and gave us a special kind of glue, and then to print the nylon to that. And I thought, well, that makes sense. It's a texture, and so it's probably sticking itself into the texture. And I thought, well, I wonder what else is textured that I could bond to glass. And then I thought, how about some sandpaper? So I got some sandpaper and put some stick glue on it, and I'm telling this in public, and I'm actually going to show you guys how we did it because I have compassion on everybody else who's, yes, Plexus.
Yeah, thank you, Plexus.
314. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have compassion on a lot of people out there who own any brand of 3D printer, and the mystery is yet to be announced. We feel like we've been pulling teeth from a dinosaur. We can't even find the dinosaur before we start pulling the teeth. So, you know, this should be more public information. This is like trade craft type of stuff. It's like wash your paintbrush when you're done if you ever want to use it again type information. It's not some secret thing. Certainly not patentable, I hope. And if it is, well, God bless you guys for trying to patent sandpaper. Well, anyway,
here's your prior art.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So what I did was, and I've actually tried to remove the sandpaper I got done. So get yourself a piece of sandpaper of glass. Home Depot's got these. They're 8x10s, $1.98. I hope that doesn't break your budget. They're not too thick, but so far I haven't broken any. Be careful. The edges are a little bit sharp, but they're not really that bad. He hasn't cut too many body parts off.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, be careful with it. And then I go and get the glue sticks. And, you know, the little glue sticks, like Post-it note glue sticks. And glue up the glass. I lay down the sandpaper and then I roll it, not with a rolling pin, but with a piece of tape, a roll of tape, large roll of tape, and work those bubbles out and good. And then I throw it on the hot build platform and I cook its little rear end at about 85 to 80 to 85 degrees. And I roll it about every 5 or 6 minutes. And then I got myself a piece of, well, you can see I tried to pull it up and it just tears the sandpaper. It does not come up. I printed successfully 11 times on this so far without having to take the paper off. So I think that for the price, it's pretty tough to beat since the sandpaper is less than $1.
Yeah.
You know, you got yourself a reusable build platform.
Under $3.
Yeah. We continue to look for other materials, and I know there are a lot of stuff out there. Garolite. Can you? Yeah. I'm not sure what Garolite is.
Thank you, DeCosta.
I know Vitis Garolitis, but I don't know Garolite. So we're about to find out. Anyway, I thought you guys would be amused or whatever. I know you're more amused when I show you that we actually got through a full print without that lifting off.
There it is. Reinforced fiberglass.
Nice, nice.
Interesting.
How do you get the texture on it? High strength print bed for 618 nylon by Talman. That's another thing I would like to point out.
Yeah.
In all of the information about nylon printing, they specify or they announce, oh, that's 100 grit. Yeah,
100 grit.
Nice. And I don't think the country of origin has anything to do with the quality of sticking, but
no.
I tried actually on 320 grit. It didn't stick nearly so well. So maybe the 100 grit's a good thing. Nice. What I was going to say is, we purchased nylon online. We will not tell you our supplier that we got it from. We did get the Talman. We got it on a reel. The reel was a small reel and it was full to the edges. Number one, hard to contain the material on the reel. So be very careful when you're unpacking or repacking because you don't want to get knots in it. Number two, when it came, it had no desiccant in it and it was not properly packed whatsoever. So it was open to the environment and was sucking moisture out of it. From everything that we've read and from our own personal experience, you want to keep the nylon in a Ziploc baggie with 2 or more small little gel packs to suck the moisture out when you're not printing.
Yeah.
Now, as you know, when we see things that we think should be addressed, we try to look on ways to work with that. And we're not doing that this week or next week, but I can already tell you I am looking for a cartridge that we can actually use to hold the material that will bolt onto the existing printer design. So we're looking for something that makes sense that we can offer to you guys later, and we'll just point you to it, or if we can make it and offer it, whatever. But know that I feel that no printer that's serious will have the material sitting out in the open, whether it's a little desktop unit or whether it's an enclosed system. When your material sits out in the open, unless you're in Arizona. If you're in Arizona, you can print naked in the backyard, you're probably okay. But if you're along a coastal region, Florida, the East Coast, Hawaii, forget it in Hawaii.
No.
Florida, especially, or is it Houston? Stay away from the whole Gulf Coast. Those areas, the humidity just really wreaks havoc on trying to get good adhesion and beautiful surface finish. Did you get a close-up of this enough to, you know what? We do have the ability to throw that microscope back on there again today.
Yes, we do. Would you like for me to do that?
Yeah, if you would like to.
Sure. Absolutely.
Prepare the
Inspector.
Yes. And if you need, do you need an extension cord?
Yeah,
I don't think I ever took it back.
Uh,
It's here somewhere.
yeah. I'll find it.
Okay. So while he's hooking that up, I will go on down the list of exciting things we did this week. We're supposed to have the names of the people's stuff we're shipping this week, and we're going to give that to you in a little bit.
Yes.
The other thing is that we're going to leave a little bit early for the Maker Faire and hit 2 or 3 or 4 people on the way up,
Yep.
which we won't know for a couple days. And then we'll go to the Maker Faire and meet. We have several people. Some of you coming down from Massachusetts or Maryland, not Maryland, but Massachusetts. And we've got 3 people from Canada that we think are coming down. So we're looking forward to meeting up with everybody. Let's see what else was.
Yeah, for those people who are looking for the extruder surveys, there were so many questions about it. I was trying to clear up the confusion before sending out anything else because of how many questions I was receiving. So I do apologize for that.
The yoke guides, the revised ones that have the cutouts properly centered, are also. I got the tracking notice today, so they are somewhere in transit over the Pacific Ocean as we speak, and that's a good thing because I was kind of stalling. I wanted those. For those of you guys who don't know what it is, actually I can point it out to you while he's doing that.
Sure.
On the printer, when you go to plug in, we had added this board. This is something that we had conceived of, but that Tim from Australia had tweaked us a little bit, saying that would be a really good idea, and Greg also said the same thing. I, of course, have no problems plugging stuff in, but then I'm an idiot when it comes to this. So the bottom line is, we thought that their input was priceless, and we thank them both for that, and anybody else who has some experience with it. And so that board was made 2 months ago, and when we got everything assembled, we found out that the mounting registration was off by 23 thousandths of an inch. It was just enough to make it difficult to plug the heads in, almost impossible. We cleaned up the machining, but then it was too sloppy for our needs. Anyway, everything got revised and sent off several weeks ago, and those will be here. So the systems that are being delivered have the pristine heads in them, or the guides, and I think that's better for everybody because that way you don't have a chance to plug the head in wrong. It's not easy to do, but
I think we're ready to try this guy out.
All right, let's take a look at this, and he'll do something strange with the broadcast. I don't know what it is. We're going to take a close look
Stay
at
tuned,
this.
guys. Hold on 1 second.
And
wow, there we go. Okay.
Man, you are good.
Okay.
Here, want to flip on the light?
Yeah. The light. I believe the light is on.
No.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah, with thumb wheel. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Those are my fingers.
Okay, those are fingers. They don't belong to me. Let's take this and. You know what? There's a reason why they made this like this. I love this little microscope thing. Okay. Oh, maybe we should focus it for everybody. Ooh, nice. Why don't we take a little closer? Wrong way.
There we go.
Part of it's in focus. There you go. If you check out these lines, these are the faceted lines. You'll see how consistent and nice the finish is on these. I mean, this is like, it might be close to 100x magnification. So you guys can get an idea of just the quality of the print. And this has been our goal all along. So we're pretty pleased. And let's take a look at the inside, just in case you guys thought we could only do it from one side.
Oh yeah.
And we're actually going to go and let's go see how bad the bottom turned out. And to do that, I'm going to have to do this. It's okay.
Okay. And whoa.
So we'll give you a little look around the bottom. And this builds an interesting platform.
Mm-hmm. Yeoman asks a very good question, which is what was the layer thickness?
The layer thickness on this was 300 microns.
Mm-hmm.
So, just thought we'd like to give you guys a preview and not get your hopes up too high. I mean, this was obviously a good print. We had nailed the recipe. It was a little bit better there. The one thing is as I rotate it, you'll see the facets and the sheen in the facets. You can see how consistent, and if there was big blobs or anything, we did no post-processing of any kind on this. This is the way it came right off the printer.
Except to take it off the bed.
Well, yeah, I did cut the raft off of it in case anybody wants to know.
There you go.
So anyway, there you go. So I just thought you guys would like to see that, and
very nice.
what can I say? Late, but better late than never, I guess.
Oh, working.
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to do this your first day, but not your first hour. We have a sequence of events. It's going to take you 2 to 4 hours to go through those events to learn how your printer works properly, and you should be able to do this your first day. And the sequence of events is just a training thing. It is not that the printer doesn't work. It's that you need to educate yourself on printing techniques. Even if you already think you know everything, which you probably do, most of you, because you're smarter than us in many cases.
Yeah.
Actually, I should just say in all cases, but because none of you guys were dumb enough to try this adventure. We, on the other hand, have learned the hard way through trial and error and see what works. So we would like you guys, when you get your little printer, to try and just walk through a couple of simple little procedures, make a couple little test builds, get your feel for the GUI, the graphical user interface, so that you sit back and you print this and you'll have great results. And yeah.
Which brings up a very good question from Paris USA, who asked earlier, which slicer are you using again? We are using Slicer 3, or Slick 3er.
This was done with Slick 3er. That's correct. It is. We're learning how to make the settings, and we're having better and better results with it. The thing is that there are some other materials. It slices for ABS, and it actually doesn't do a bad job. I mean, we're getting the hang of it. Still some really strange stuff that's not so strange for it as we don't understand what's going on. As we adjust the different numbers, that's good. That's the reason why we have the zip and ship feature, so that we can email the whole recipe setup, and you can be sure that that would be the way to go. Like if you've got a print that's working or not working, and you send it to us, we can throw in some of our magic from our side and see if we can make it work a little better for you. We're not offering that as a design service, but at the same time, we're a community.
Yeah.
And as a community goes, we're learning as you're learning. And so we really want to be able to learn through your challenges, and we want to be able to share them openly with everybody, so that we create a little bit of a recipe pool. So that you know, if you're doing small parts with this resolution, then use these settings. And if you're going to use a big, almost said a bad word, a big part. Sorry, man. I mean, just one of those days. What can I tell you? I just watched the finals of the U.S. Open for a few minutes, and well, you watch it, you'll understand.
You get into it.
Anyway,
yeah. Or if you're going to be using a different type of material, if you wanted to make that same vase out of not ABS or PLA or nylon, you wanted to make it out of clay.
Actually, yes, that's good. That's a good point. I did print the nylon with the same exact file I printed the ABS, but I tweaked 2 lines. And that's all it took to switch over from one material to the other. And those 2 lines can be embedded so that I could actually, in theory, and I should be able to do this, print both nylon and ABS simultaneously on 2 different heads at the same time. And, that's a good thing.
Thank you to Costed for sending us the link to Octave.com, which has got the Garolite, Garolite 3D printer plate. Very interesting. He says Talman T glass sticks well on most anything. Oh, good. And I've been using blue painter's tape. Okay.
We haven't had any luck with blue painter's tape.
Not with the 618.
Not with any nylon.
Really?
No.
Okay.
It's We're using 3M's painter tape, blue painter's tape, and
yeah.
basically when you have a little part with no traction, you can get away with printing on it if you drive the material into the surface of it. The moment you got a part that's more than a square inch or gets about 3 or 4 layers high, causes big problems. But we definitely want to look at this T-glass. So a million thank yous for sharing that.
Yes, it's no, but it does work great with T-glass on 618.
And we're all over the T-glass.
Thank
so
you.
yes, I like this guy.
In DeCosta?
Where is he located?
California.
I'm so looking forward to seeing you. I am.
Okay. Let's see. Plexus asked, how much have you guys had to drink? I've had some tea, some water.
We didn't drink any acetone tonight, so don't worry about it.
No.
I had some sweet tea for dinner, so that's why I might seem a little bit elevated.
June Lee, talking about shipping, I still haven't got my invoice. Just wondering if I'll get my system before the World Maker Faire 2013. And you're right there in New York City.
Jim's in New York?
Yeah. Yeah.
Has he got a 30?
I believe he did go up to 30. Wait. Yes, you did. So, June, I think it may have already sent you your invoice via PayPal.
But
I'll double check. But it may have. Sometimes the PayPal invoices go straight into the spam boxes, and I don't understand why. So you might want to check that. But I'll resend it if it's there.
Well, let's make it simple. We know which systems we've got. We can go look at the names on them, and so we'll tell you whether you're on one of them.
Yeah.
I know who you are because we hear from you all the time, and you've helped us in many different ways. So
okay,
we'll take care of it. Tomorrow it will be his highest priority.
Yes,
for sure. Then we get it straight.